Welcome back to the Modern Real Estate Agents with Johnny and Lizzy Phillips.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're doing well, and I hope you enjoy the 3 sheep.
Oh, gosh. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Wearing your sheep thing again.
Yeah.
This is not the first time.
This is my sheep sweater.
It is.
Because I have no clothes that fit me.
These 3 sheep of Orient are.
It is a sweater with 3 sheep stacked on each other.
It's a true story.
And when I'm pregnant, one of them disappears when I bend over in the crevice of my belly. So
I hope everyone's good.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got started with the sheep there.
Yep.
My fault.
Yep. I wasn't sure where we were going to go with that. My nose is itching.
Well, you're on video now, so it's weird.
I know. Well, I've always been on video.
Just like you're picking your nose, like right here in front of everybody.
I'm not picking it. I'm just tapping it because it itches. Yeah. So, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We're running strong. Two podcasts in a row. We're recording another one.
Look at us.
There's no intro saying, sorry, we've been MIA. Sorry, we've been MIA for once.
It's been the last 3 or 4 episodes at least.
Yeah.
So here we are.
We're not MIA. We're back.
Well, it's great. It's the beginning of the year. We're starting so strong. Real estate's starting super strong. We have 5 pending right now.
Yeah, and not just that, but we have like clients crawling out of the woodwork.
Yep.
Like it just all of a sudden it was like January 1 and people are like, I'm ready.
So I hope that everyone listening is having the same 2023 because that's a hell of a way to start.
Yeah. Especially when people are like, the sky is falling.
I know.
Like there's no deals to be found. I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like the beginning of the year is always like, okay, figuring out what's this year going to do? What's it going to be like?
Yeah, I feel like I've had a lot of people come to me lately and ask, how's everything going? I know things are slowing down. I'm like, not for this guy. No.
Yeah, no, we're not feeling a slowdown right now. Knock on wood.
And
Feels good.
And I feel like that has a lot to do with, because of what we talk about all the time. All we talk about is proactively generating and not waiting for passive stuff to come to you, but going out and getting work. I think that's the difference.
Well, and I mean, I think a lot of these people that are clients of ours right now are reaching back out to us because we've stayed in their life. And
sure. And
that leads us directly into what we're talking about today.
I see what you did there. Teed yourself up.
I did. I teed myself up real good. So today we're going to talk about setting up client events for 2023. And, going back to what I just said is I think we're starting to see some of the fruits of that labor, that consistent, okay, we're going to be going into our 3rd or 4th event that we've done every single quarter now.
Yep.
And I think, or every quarter, every 4 months is what we're kind of been doing.
Yeah, whatever works.
Yeah. So I think that it's a really important topic. I think it's something that if you can start early in your business, if possible, I think it's going to have faster results than if you wait to when we started doing client events.
It's a snowball effect.
Yeah.
Snowball effect. The sooner you get started, the sooner you're going to reap those rewards, right?
Yeah.
If you wait, then you're just prolonging that.
Yeah. So I guess we can jump in and talk about what it is. And we kind of teased, I think, last week that we are doing our first client event in February, and I've been working on it all day today, actually, and in good timing for this podcast episode.
Well, yeah, and I think that today, we worked through ironing out some details this morning.
Yeah.
And it's really time applicable to what we're talking about. Because just go ahead. Ignore me. Just keep talking, babe. Sorry, guys.
The timing is right. Yeah. And we'll kind of like throw in some tidbits on that, like a cloth on here, as we go along too, and what went into our event planning today, I guess.
Go.
So real time. So the first thing that you want to do is set a budget for the year and for each event.
Bingo.
So you know exactly how much you want to spend. Try to really keep that budget if at all possible.
Yeah. And there are probably ways that you can steal from around your budget that you had maybe for last year or that you're thinking about doing in ways that aren't going to be super helpful, right? We started last week's episode and we talked about how we went through our numbers last year and we're like, okay, where did our business come from? Where can we rein in certain expenses? And if you haven't done that, you need to go ahead and do that. That is priority 1 for 2023 and reallocate funds where it's necessary.
So yeah, we have a good pool of funds to work with, thankfully, because of us shuffling some things around. And when we did realize that 65% of our business came from Sphere past client referral, we were like, well, let's put the majority of our marketing funds into that.
And I think it's important to put out, make a note of 65% of our, I just don't know what's wrong with my head today. 65% of our business came from Sphere and referrals, and we never put any effort into them. We did those 3 client events, right?
Yeah.
But we didn't really try.
I mean, we didn't. I mean, we did some things, but this year we've got a better plan in place of like how we're going to work that.
Absolutely. We have
and hopefully pull referrals out of it. So not just working the Sphere and getting the referrals, but really getting the referrals pulled out of it.
So I'm excited about doubling down and really seeing what we can do with our Sphere and referral if we try to milk them.
Yeah. So start planning out the year and know exactly how much you want to allocate towards events or marketing to your Sphere. So it doesn't just have to be events, but like pop buys, mailers, cards, things like that you're going to be sending out, and figure out what is that full marketing budget and then separate out events from that. So, some events are going to be more expensive than others. This year, we've got 2 events that are more expensive and one that's a little bit cheaper for us. The one that we have coming up in February, that's the couples photos. We've been trying to keep the costs low because we ran into like, oh my gosh, this is actually going to be a lot more costly than we thought. And it's only going to be for a small amount of people. So really trying to maximize our ROI on that one.
And I feel like we're doing a really good job. We got a great photographer at what I feel like is a steal. Like we are just awesome. She's a really good friend of ours, but we also are paying her, I think, decently. But I think as well, she's doing this for us too. Well, yeah. And so then it was where we're going to get the venue, right? And we were able to keep that cost down by a lot, thanks to your investigative skills today.
I know. I'm so good at it. So yeah. To kind of go into the budget part of that is, we realized, okay, we're going to be spending X amount for the photographer, and we were potentially going to be spending more than the photographer for a venue. And we were like, this is crazy town. I'm not going to be spending that much money for a venue for 5 hours. That is nice, but not worth it, in my opinion.
I feel like one of the big problems we ran into is, okay, we're doing this at the beginning of February. We can't do this outside.
Do it outside, yeah.
And inside, spaces are just limited, right?
Yeah. We just don't have any good photography studios. Everything that's an event is a wedding venue, and a lot of those are already booked or astronomically priced. So that's where we were like, okay, let's get creative. And I'm like, who do we know that might have a house?
Sure.
I don't know. Not really anybody that just feels weird. Okay, what about an Airbnb? We could rent an Airbnb. Looked through that. There were some options there, but then you run into the like, okay, do we have to book it for 2 nights because we need the daytime? Like,
yep. And then there was the hours. You check in at 4:00, right?
That's what I just said. Because if we had to book it for 2 nights, we would need it. If we need it during the daytime,
Bingo.
we have to book it for 2 nights.
Bingo.
So yeah, and so that was like, well, we could do that, but then we're back up at the cost of the other venues. And so I'm like Googling like, okay, studio rentals and not finding anything. And all of a sudden I come across this website that people have put up their spaces to rent. It's like Airbnb, but it's an hourly for like photos, video. And if you know about Atlanta, we're a big hub now for like movie production.
Yep.
So there's a lot of people that have their spaces up on here. So I found one that's literally a mile from our house.
I know, it's across the street.
It's a
awesome.
lake house, and it is way under what our budget we want it to be. And the guy is so nice and like accommodating. He's like, you can come look at the space ahead of time. I haven't even told you this.
No.
Yeah, he responded to me and he was like, nope, we're open that day. If you and your photographer want to come by and look at it so you can see what spaces you want to use.
Yes.
I was like, wow, that's so nice of you. I'm waiting for our photographer to get back to me about like, hey, do you think this space will work? So yeah, so that's kind of the budget part of it is like, okay, we're trying to keep expenses, if at all possible, to a minimum to maximize our budget for the year. But yeah, so that's where I'm, don't overspend and get creative on ways to keep the cost at a minimum.
How else can we keep the cost down?
I don't know.
It's your next point.
Oh, okay. I'm
Trying
like, what
so
are you?
hard to help you out here.
We're really sucking today. I am sleep deprived and I'm like,
Blame it on the baby, whatever.
I have horrible insomnia this pregnancy. And then last night we had thunderstorms all night long.
Okay, yeah. So last night she's like, you can't sleep in the bed tonight.
Oh my gosh. I was like, can you go sleep in the guest room just in case that's what's keeping me up at night?
So I went downstairs. I slept on the couch.
I don't know why. I'm like, I come down, I'm like, why'd you sleep on the couch?
Because you know I love to do that.
You do love to
like
sleep
vacation.
on the couch. So weird. That is like my least favorite place to sleep.
Whatever.
Whatever. You're just different. It's fine. But I was like, can I just have a night? And then it stormed the whole night and I did not sleep again. So that's
tired. What you get for kicking me out.
So I'm tired because you're tired because sleep on the couch, even though you think you're getting good sleep, you're not.
Talk about vendors.
So how to keep your costs at a minimum, talk to a vendor partner. So if you've done a deal with a lender, if you've used a home inspection company, if you refer people a lot to a certain roofer, a plumber.
Speaking of, we've used this one inspection company a dozen times in the last month. So we should call him.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
I know.
I see.
I'm brilliant.
Well, I mean, it's hard because you don't want to tap into your vendors too much. We want to, respect that they have budgets too, and they have tons of agents that they're working with.
Sure.
So you want to have people pay back for the ones that you're actually doing.
It's a two-way street. I think that's the biggest thing to remember about vendors is you're helping them and they need to be helping you, right?
Yeah. So, get them to help split the cost. So in our last event, the lender that we work with all the time, she split it 50-50 with us. And I mean, that's a huge help. We're putting her name on everything. She's getting access to all of our database through marketing, and
the money is just worthwhile.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's that. How to decide what type of event to do. So who is in your sphere? That's the first question.
Who are you marketing this to, right?
What are the people around you that are, let's say you are a new agent, okay? Because a lot of times you're like, I don't have any past clients. Okay, let's say you're a new agent and you have a sphere of influence. Are you into drama? Are you into improv? Are you into soccer? What are some of the key interests you have that a lot of the people in your sphere of influence have? And do an event tailored around that. Are you a runner and you're involved in the running community? Do something sponsored around that. You can just find whatever community you're a part of or interests that you have and people in your sphere of influence and tailor an event for that.
I think that this particular event would be great for everyone to go home and steal, because if you're a new agent, you're probably in your 20s or 30s. All of your friends are just clicking around on Instagram. So do what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And just have people tag you in these photos that you're getting for them. I mean, steal this idea. I think it's incredible.
Yeah. And so for example, when our photographer is going to send out the link to these clients that they have their photos, they're going to say, please tag us on social media when you post this. So we're going to get a ton of tags on social media of great photos of clients, and people are going to be like, how did they get these photos for free?
Us, this guy.
Yeah, so I think it's a really good way. I love this event that I came up with. I'm just saying.
Well, just go ahead, toot your own horn. It's a good one. You did good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the cheapest, but I think it will have a good exposure. The hard thing about events is, especially when you're doing higher cost events that you've got to keep the number of people to a minimum, is you can't publicize it all over social media.
Well, no, we can't have 200 people wanting photos. No.
If you can have the people that were there publishing it, that's way better. You would rather have someone reach their entire sphere than just you sharing about this event.
I mean, that organic reach just goes so much further. I think it's huge.
Yeah. So, we may change this up every year too and be like, okay, this year it's for couples, next year it's for families. Then we're going to do maybe pet photos.
I was going to say pets. Let's do pets.
Yeah. I know. I really want to do pet photos because we've got a lot of clients who, millennials, we all buy houses for our dogs, but
why not?
Or pets. I'm not a cat person, but if you're a cat person, no offense, that's great for you. Do a lot of your friends drink? Then do something at a brewery. Do something at
yes.
Yeah, we all of our friends drink.
Sorry, yeah, big into the breweries around here.
Yeah, we just always do events. Things included with alcohol.
Why not?
Do they not drink was another option. If they don't drink, then don't have it at a brewery because no one's going to show up.
I think that's a great point, babe. If your friends don't drink, don't do it at a brewery.
I feel like I'm just really, really intelligent today. Yeah, so that's kind of trying to figure out what type of event you want to do. And that gets you FaceTime with people. That was one thing that was hard with our donut day event, which we're still going to do, is that there were just people so fast coming in and out that we didn't have time to talk to everybody.
Yeah, and a lot of people wanted to stick around and talk, right? So we had a 2 or 3 hour window. Hey, come pick up your donuts. We had 70 people file through. So I'm sitting there talking to someone and then 3 people are waiting to talk to you.
Exactly. So I think that's, it was still good. We still got to hug people, say, hey, but this event, like we're going to invite people to show up 15 minutes before their time slot so we can say hi to them. It's going to be one-on-one. There's not going to be other people around. So it's a really good way to get FaceTime. I mean, just all around, it's a really good idea.
And these people are going to be, when they're in it, it's going to be them and the photographer. We're not going to be there with them in the photos.
Yeah,
right?
No, of course not.
I mean, I know they want me in the photos with them.
There will be nobody that wants you in their photos.
Mark my words, listeners, at least one person. I'll come back and tell you. Don't worry.
It's only going to happen because you're going to put yourself in the photo. They're not going to request it.
If it happens, it happens.
Please don't. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my voice today. So then decide who you're going to invite. Will this be open to the public or is this just going to be for your VIPs? I think that's a big deciding factor. We decided 2 of our events are going to be VIPs and 1 is going to be more public.
And I think that that's also, a budget consideration, right?
Yeah.
If you're a new agent, everyone you know is a VIP. Rockstar, do it.
Yeah.
You want to include as many people as you can, but if we did a giant, invite everyone, we'd be in trouble.
Well, and the people, you want to reward the people that are already doing business with you and referring you business. So that's who you want to
definitely
have access. Yeah. So what we've decided for this event and most likely our fall event is we're going to have a cap on the number of people for both of them. Yeah. And first, we're going to open it up to our VIPs. If it fills up in our VIP group, great. We have given what we want to our VIPs. If it doesn't fill up, then closer to the event, we'll open it up more to our sphere, more to our database, and then further do it on public if we still haven't filled it.
Yep.
Sorry, I am just gonna make you guys annoyed with my clearing of my throat.
It's okay. It's whatever. If I did it, you'd shoot me, but whatever.
No, just only when you slurp your coffee. Oh my gosh. What are your pet peeves with your spouses?
That's a whole episode right there.
Yeah. So I think that's a really good way to do it though, is, do it in tiers. I think that's how people invite people to their weddings. They have an A list, and then if they don't hear back, then they open it up to the B list.
I feel like saying that out loud means that people listening that are our friends and didn't get invited to our wedding are going to be like, so I'm on the B list.
No, I mean, there just is a list that you aren't going to get cut. You're going to get cut. We can't afford everything. Sorry.
You didn't make it. Sorry. You're off the squad.
Exactly. And then how will you invite them? So the more touches, the better.
Yes, touches. If you are a new listener and you don't understand the term touches is important.
It's not physically touching somebody. Don't do that.
That's weird. No, it's how are you reaching out to these people? How are you making contact? And there are a variety of ways to do it. And the more times you touch someone, the better. Still sounds weird when you say that.
Yeah. So what we would recommend is get this Facebook group going. If you didn't listen to the episode with Tina Beliveau, go back and listen to that. It will walk you through how to do everything.
Priceless.
I wish I need to learn what our episode numbers are, or at least have a list in front of me so I can be go to episode blah blah blah.
No, it'll be much easier, guys, if you just start from the beginning and
go listen to every
single one. Yeah.
Speaking of which, we really are getting on YouTube, you guys. It's actually happening.
We've been saying this for a solid
Lizzy
year now.
Lizzy has started the process, and our channel is The Modern Real Estate Agents. And if you want to watch us, you should go there. We only have 2 episodes up currently. There might be more by the time this episode hits, but
We're going places, guys.
This is now happening. So you can see our glorious faces on the internet.
That might be a problem.
I don't know why I got sidetracked with that.
So we're talking about touching people.
Facebook group. Okay, so yeah, do it in your Facebook group for clients, past clients, sphere, whatever. Phone call. Pick up the phone and invite people on the phone.
Bingo. People love phone calls. I know you're a millennial and you're like, no, we hate phone calls. But you're inviting them for something. You're inviting them to an event. You are offering to pay for it. Go ahead and call them.
Yeah. Give them a call and just like what we're probably going to do is post it in our VIP group and then call through everybody that's in the group and say, hey, I don't know if you saw the post. We wanted to make sure you don't miss out on getting a time slot ASAP. They will sell out.
So
they will fill up.
Yeah. So as we were going over these show notes just a little bit ago, I was thinking as people RSVP, we should send a physical reminder in the mail. I didn't
tell me this.
Tell you this at all. But I think it would be good.
I think it's a great idea.
People put it on their refrigerator. It'll keep them reminded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's part of my leading up to the event, but we'll get there.
Whatever, lady.
Phone call, text message. I'll go ahead and say that now, but so with text messages, you want to, especially, people don't want a phone call like, hey, just reminding you, there's someone's dog is shitting in our yard currently. She's got a bag. That's a first.
I'm sorry, listeners.
just looked out the window and I'm like, really? Okay, text messages.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
What are we doing?
Why do you guys listen to us? I don't know. Like the fact that you continue to listen to us blows my mind.
Don't discourage people from listening.
If they stopped, I would understand. You want to, I would say the week of, don't call them. Hey, wanted to call and remind you. Shoot them a text. People don't want to answer the phone and all the time from you. Just shoot them a text and say, just a reminder, this Saturday, your time slot is at this time.
Agreed.
Then I would say the night before and or the morning of, send a reminder text.
Bingo.
Because especially with an event like this where it is very crucial that we have people show up hopefully around the right time because it's such a time blocked event.
They're scheduled times, right?
You've got to make sure people are going to show up and...
Well, that's the other thing. We don't want to pay for these places and no one show up, right?
Yeah. So, and one of my points is guys, there is going to be people that don't show up. People get sick the day of. There's things that come up. It does happen. But
there are no good excuses in my book.
But the more you can remind someone, the better for sure.
For sure. And the more you check in with them, they might be like, oh, I can't make it. I'm sorry, something happened.
And you can fill that slot with someone else. So then you could just post on socials, hey, we've got an open slot for a photography day. Who wants it? So planning the event, kind of what goes into it. We've talked a little bit about ours, but don't wait until the last minute. We've done this and you miss a lot of details by waiting till the last minute.
Yeah, you need to treat this with the respect it deserves, right? If you're going to do this 3 times a year, it deserves a lot of attention.
And treat it like you would your wedding. Treat it like this is a big deal. I want this to be perfect. I want everyone to like it. What? I'm
just thinking I'm giving this about the same amount of effort as I gave our wedding.
That's fucking accurate. And I'm giving it about the same amount of effort that I did our wedding. No, I really wasn't I didn't stress too much about our wedding. I didn't care. I didn't care about the small details, which is something I have to work on. I need to make sure I do care about the small details.
Whatever.
Give people plenty of time to RSVP and hold the date on their calendars. That's something when we did our fall festival event, we didn't give people enough time in advance and we had to cancel the first event because of weather.
Ooh, that was bad.
And then we had to reschedule it. So, that's just going to happen. We're going to run into that every year. The possibility that we may have to cancel it. So
but that's one of the benefits of this being an indoor event.
Yeah, exactly. This is one where something crazy happens. It's going to happen.
Should be fine.
So yeah, planning the event, find the location, what will people be doing, how will it be decorated, what supplies do you need to buy, like every little thing that needs to go into the event. So like for us, we're going to have like a little mimosa bar or some beers, like give people a drink when they come. So
Absolutely.
like what goes into that? Do we need like fruit? Do we need like every little detail you can think of, like special napkins, special whatever. Give them something to take home with them, you know, like a little cookie bag or something.
This reminds me of when I first started real estate, and I was like, oh, I have an open house I'm hosting for someone. And I'm like, on the way there, I'm like, crap, I need to pick up cookies and water. And that was just lack of preparation and lack of forethought, right?
Yeah. So think through ahead of time everything. Get a list of everything you need to bring with you to the event, everything you need to buy, when you need to buy it, like really organize it. This is just not who I am by nature. I'm not a super organized person, but when it comes to something like this, I try my best to really keep it as organized as possible.
If only we had an admin.
We're working on it. If only the people we want would be available is the problem, really.
Yes.
We find people and they're like, well, I'm not really available right now. I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't work.
For real.
Try to use like local businesses for everything to build relationships or strengthen relationships. So like use past clients for their skills, whatever they may have, or referral partners, things like that.
That's super smart. We could call D and ask about some flowers.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Make sure we get our flowers from a florist we have a really good relationship with. And like that gives me a chance to go into the shop and see her and talk to her and, you know, plan out what we need. So
I know where we're getting our alcohol. We got alcohol, people.
Yeah. So like we have a great relationship with a local microbrewery. Is that what they call
I think
it?
we call them tap rooms.
Tap room. I always forget. I'm so bad at it. So yeah, like that's where we're gonna figure out those little
Bingo.
details and making sure that we have touches within the community on
Absolutely.
top of this.
That's just another way for you guys to use this event to get your fingers in the community. God, everything sounds weird.
So sexual.
So weird. Moving right along.
And I think I touched on this a little bit, like try to 10x everything. So like if you're going to do a champagne bar or a mimosa bar like we are, what will the tiny details be that will stand out to people that just make it a little bit elevated?
Yeah. And I think this is a great time to do that. I mean, yes, let people notice your attention to detail.
Exactly.
This is
Because
the time.
if your attention to detail for something like this, they're going to see that and they're going to think, wow, they must have good attention to detail in their business.
Who do I want listing and hosting my open houses? This guy.
Exactly. Yep. So, and I was in an event as a real estate class, and they were talking about how they used this principle and went a little deeper on every single detail. Like, okay, how can we make this a little better? And so they told the story of one of their, like a realtor, he had a movie, he rented out a movie theater. Like I think it was for like Top Gun when it came out. And so he like rented out a theater and like did all the candy, all the popcorn. And they're like, what can we do to make this one just a little bit more special? And so someone was like, I think I know like a fighter pilot or something. So they called up the fighter pilot. Yeah, this is a good story. They called up the fighter pilot and they're like, would you be willing to like come and take pictures with people as like a Top Gun? He was like, actually, I can get you in contact with one of the original
bullshit,
like who was actually one of the people or something. And so they got in touch with him. He was like more than happy to come and do it. Yeah. So like, of course they got a little lucky with this kind of a thing, but like,
you don't know if you don't ask.
Exactly. So like going down that, just continue to go down the rabbit hole and like make it one step better, one step bigger, things like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was a really cool story. I don't know how I feel about doing the like movie theater events.
So obviously we did them with that last team.
Yeah.
And
it was not successful.
I felt like those were a bust, mostly because I know that you're doing it like as a service to people, but you're bringing people in to sit in a dark room and not speak.
That's my thing is like, if I'm doing an event, I want to interact with people.
Yeah.
I don't like, that's how we don't go to the movie theater for a date night. Like we're trying to talk to each other and spend time together.
Unless you're in the back of the movie theater necking, I don't know what you're doing.
I think we've been to one or two movies our entire relationship. Our first movie we ever went to, we were married. We never went on a date movie.
Yep.
And I don't even remember what it was.
Oh, we should know because we've only been to 2.
I don't know.
What was
they
the second
were.
one?
I think did we go to Toy Story 4 together?
I was going to say it was a cartoon. It was a cartoon. Yep. We're cool. We're hip.
That's great. We're really,
Yep.
really cool people. We
Whatever.
watch badass shit.
Hell yeah. Did y'all see Maverick? No, we saw Toy Story.
Toy Story 4. Yeah. So leading up to the event, did I go to? No. Yeah. Leading up to the event then is reminder texts or calls. Already touched on that. Anticipate that a percentage of people will not show up, even if they RSVP'd. People get sick, plans change, people forget. Even if you remind them, someone's gonna be like, "Oh shit, what time is it? We missed it."
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest reason to send these reminders. And if you have a slot open up, try and fill it.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. That's brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. And then like double check with all parties involved that they're good to go for the day. Like double check, verify, all those things.
Yeah.
Delegate tasks to people that if you have other people helping or that are involved with the day so that you are able to speak with people. So like for donut day, like for example, I want us to have someone there who can be standing there and handing out the donuts so that we can stand and talk to people and not have to be like, hold on, let me get this person their donuts.
That was, yeah. But we wouldn't have known. We didn't know
it was
to
our
even
first
think
time
about
to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, next time we would have another person or maybe one of our team members. The hard thing is you don't want to. Actually, I think it is really much better that we have someone who is completely a stranger to everybody in our sphere, because then if we don't know who someone is who shows up, we don't look like an idiot when we're like, "What's your name?" Like
that can be tough, guys. I suck at names, so thank God I don't believe that ever happened to us that last time. But
it didn't, but there were a couple people where I was like, oh my God, who are you? Like that you knew that I didn't know who they were.
But it makes so much sense to have someone who's obviously not going to know them and be like, oh, hey, what was your name again?
Yeah. So that's something I think we'll do differently for.
Ooh, I wonder if we should put names on the boxes. And so like as they're coming to walk to us, they have their name on them. And if we have any questions, we can be like, oh, did you get what you needed? Zach? No?
No, because you just have stacks and stacks of donuts.
I can't help you with that.
And you're going to be like pulling through no.
Whatever. I said what I said.
It's a great idea, but you should just memorize people's names.
I should. It's what I need to do. Yes. Gosh, I had a good thought just now.
People's names on the boxes.
Move on.
Yeah. Well, I think that we are close to the end here.
Oh.
Yeah, I would say that, day of the event, obviously is just going to be the event. Look professional. I think that's a big thing, making sure that you're looking your best, you're looking appropriate for the event. So whatever that is.
Bingo. Yeah. And I remember what my thought was. So yeah, a debrief. I know I'm kind of going onto what would be another slide.
Oh yeah.
But after the event, take time to
good.
sit down and take notes on what went right, what went wrong, what are we doing better next year.
Yeah.
I'm on a nonprofit board now, and we're putting together a second little thing for them. It's a casino night. And so at one of the meetings, we were like, okay, talk to us about last year's debrief. And they were like, oh, we didn't do that. We're like, okay, so what did we learn? What are we going to do differently? Don't forget that. That's a very valuable step.
Yeah, I feel like we had a lot of good takeaways from Donut Day and from our farm day thing. So yeah, making sure that you can, especially if it's an event you want to repeat, or the debrief could be that you don't want to do the event again.
I mean, sure,
like
absolutely.
This is not a good one. We're not doing it again.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
And you're going to forget so much in the 365 days until the next time you do it. So take the time to do it.
Yeah, do like an Excel spreadsheet. That way when it comes back around time to plan, you can be like, oh, those were my notes.
Bingo. Or use Google Sheets because you're poor like us.
That's what I meant. If I say Excel, I mean Google Sheets. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's not the
2
same.
episodes now we've given Google a shout out.
I thought we did. Yeah, you're right.
Sponsor us?
Come on, Google. So yeah.
I think that kind of mostly covers everything. We'll keep you guys kind of updated as we do our event, after the event. how it goes. If it sucks, we'll let you guys know.
And I
We'll
strongly
hide it.
encourage everyone to steal this idea. You don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, but we're just finishing up the details of it.
Yeah.
So
Feel free
you
to
have
reach
enough
out
time.
if you have questions.
Yeah.
I love it when people reach out. I think that I talk to a listener at least once a week. I love it. I talked to Nathan yesterday. Nathan's fantastic.
He's great.
We're gonna have him on the show.
I know we keep saying that. There's so many people that we need to have on the show, but we just get busy and we forget to schedule.
Well, not this year because it's 2023. This is the year of the Phillips team.
What?
This is 2023, right?
Yeah, it is 2023.
So you got that part right.
I'm not sure what you're saying.
I'm saying that we aren't skipping any beats this year. All right, we're going balls to the wall. We're doing this.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out for a little bit, but you can.
Babies are
you
not
can
an
go balls
excuse.
to the wall.
No. We have two. We'll have another set of balls here, babe. That's so many balls to the wall.
Welcome to my life now. Just surrounded by balls. It's great.
Don't act like you don't like it.
Okay. Well, we're getting towards the end. So, do you want to ask a question this week? Because I did it last time.
Yes, I do want to ask a question. I've been giving this a lot of thought.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. That's a first.
And I have been going back and forth whether or not we should talk about this.
I'm scared now. I don't know if I want you to ask it then.
What do you think I'm thinking?
I have no clue.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
There's nothing in your head that I could be thinking.
I don't know.
What's your worst fear of a question?
I don't know. I guess just fucking ask it.
That didn't work at all.
If you say it in a way that if I can figure out what it is and I don't want to talk about this, that I don't have to talk about it and people don't have to know what it is.
Well, I didn't have a question. I was hoping you would provide a question by
You're
giving
such
me...
an idiot. You're so stupid.
It almost worked.
I didn't. I have nothing. Why would I want to tell a deep dark secret? You guys know. Why
do you want to tell us a
why do you
deep
keep
dark
looking
secret?
above my head? Is there something wrong with my hair? You do this all the time, and I get so self-conscious.
What's wrong with my head?
You look up. You look up, and I'm like, what's? I know I have flyers most of the time, but could you not point it out? Jesus.
Just reminds me of an Office episode. It's a great thing. No, never mind.
Yeah. Stop! I'm gonna kill you.
I can't believe it works.
Okay.
All right, let these people go.
No, we didn't ask a question.
My question.
I always have to come up with the questions every week.
Because of things.
To be fair, your brain's apparently not working well today.
It doesn't work ever.
And you sleep.
Lots.
Yeah.
Yep.
Must be nice.
It does. It does. No, I can't come up with a question.
Oh, do you have any New Year's resolutions?
Oh, that's a good
Or
one.
like
That's a gimme.
goal? Like, I mean, we know our goals for business, but
Definitely.
like, do you have anything that you've set for the year or anything? I don't know how we haven't talked about this, but
For real, we haven't talked about it
this.
once.
I know.
And to that, no, I have not. Have you?
No, I think that is just something like we don't do. I mean, we set goals for our business because that's calendar year. Yeah, you do that, but I'm just not a big resolution person.
I feel like
if
setting
I'm going
a-
to change something, I'm going to change it today. I'm not going to wait till January 1st.
Which is the right way to do things, by the way. No, I feel like setting a resolution is the best way to set yourself up for failure. Who do you talk to that ever like says,
ever completes a resolution?
Bingo.
I feel like I know of some people who've like done a whole year of not drinking. Like that's
I haven't had a drink this year.
really.
I know, right?
What day is it? Is it like the 4th or the 5th?
It's the 4th.
Wow, that's a miracle.
Well, Miss Judgy Pants over here just pissed off that she
Can't drink.
She's pregnant and only has 2 sheep when it's the 3 sheep sweater. That's what it is.
No, the third sheep is really prominent now. There's not much hiding it. No, I don't think. I've also seen someone say something like, it's better to not set goals and instead just change your habits.
Just
because you'll get to the goal.
do better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do better.
Yes, that's what
We're
it comes down
such
to.
motivational people. We don't have fucking New Year's resolutions.
No, just do better.
Do better. Yeah, no. I think also like whenever I'm having a baby in a year, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to expect. I'm not setting any expectations for anything.
I think that, there's just so much already on our plate. Like I want to kick ass in business. We got the baby. We're up to our necks in house renovations. I'm not worried about resolutions. I
Yeah,
got
we're
other
just-
shit to do.
We just do our shit when we need to.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's your word of advice today. Do your shit when you need to.
Way to wrap it up, babe.
Just
Just with a neat little bow.
tune back in next week for more stellar content.
Okay. Let these people go now.
You say this every week. Let these people go. Leave them alone.
And you're still not doing it.
I'm not, because you're still listening.
Bye.